Hi, friends. I'm Loni, and this is my testimony. I have moved about over 20 times, to be exact, over 20 times in my lifetime, from house to house and different locations in Jamaica. And now I'm in England, so that it's adding up. I'm gonna share my testimony about how I acquired my house. Now, on this particular day, I've been praying to God to just allow me the opportunity to acquire my house, to be able to build a house or buy a house. But whatever the occasion was, I needed a house. And I prayed to God and I prayed to God. And somehow I managed to purchase a house lot. And that's another testimony for another time. And I'll tell you about it in another video. However, I'm gonna share how I acquired my house in Jamaica. And so I was working, I was employed, I was a midwife. I've been a midwife since 2011 in Jamaica. But somehow I just wasn't able to afford a house. I've been contributing to the National Housing Trust, and for those of us who live in Jamaica and know about Jamaica, once you're employed, that contribution is automatically deducted from your salary. But if you're self-employed, you have an option to pay that a portion at the office on your own, in your own time and stuff like that. So, but I was contributing from my salary. And so it wasn't hard for me to get a loan from the National Housing Trust to build a house. But the thing is, one person getting a loan is just not enough to purchase a house or to build a house. You needed to have at least two parties. And so my husband was self-employed. We even started the contributions, but somehow his portion just wasn't carried out for some reason or another. But anyways, I just want to share the goodness of the Lord with you. Um, I on this particular day, I had a vehicle. I was driving. As a matter of fact, I was a traveling officer in Jamaica, and so my supervisor on this day asked me not to work at the clinic that I was scheduled to work, but I was needed in another area at another clinic. And so that clinic somehow was a bit closer to my house, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of driving. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of driving. Yeah, so I didn't enjoy driving much. But I had to do it because it was a part of my job, so I had to do it. So, anyways, I on that day I worked at the health center that my supervisor asked me to work at. Finished working early and got a call from my son stating that my daughter wasn't well. I don't remember if they were on holidays or something, but this was 2019 when COVID was in full swing. Yeah, there were restrictions and mask wearing and all of that. Yeah. So I got a call from him stating that she wasn't well and that um, yeah, she's really needing me. So I asked my superiors if it was okay to leave early, and that I did. Now while driving home, I didn't notice anything suspicious, to be exact. Honestly, I can't say that I noticed anything suspicious, but at the stoplight, I saw a brown colored vehicle, turn behind me, but then I didn't think anything of it really because I didn't see it afterwards. So the house that I live in, it's at a T junction, and the gate is like, so the road ahead, my house is here, and the road is like here, and the gate is somewhere down here. So if you're at the gate, you won't be able to see the bottom of the road, but just the corner. And so I turn the corner and get out of the vehicle with ignition still on and running. My door was still open, and I just jumped out with the intention to open the gate, drive in, not closing the gate, and just grab my daughter. Pick up some stuff if I need to get her ready, and pick up some stuff and just drive back out to take her to the doctor. However, when I opened the gate, got out of the car, opened the gate, and I I turned around now to get back in the car to drive the car in. I saw a man standing behind me, or in front of me rather, because no, I was facing the car. So I saw him standing there, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, what's happening? Yeah, what is happening here? Oh, before I reached that point, let me tell you, as I jumped out of the car to open the gate, I heard a car screeching behind me, driving really fast. So I'm like, okay, let me hurry up and open the gate and get out of the road because I'm in the road, so I need to get out of the road. And when I turned around, this man was standing there. I don't know when he came out of the car. Maybe he came out of the car and ran down, and then the car drive down afterwards. I don't even know what happened. But anyways, he was standing there, and I was like, what is happening? What are you doing? And he was like, give me your car. And I'm like, what? Is this a movie? What is this? What do you mean by give your car? Give your what? Anyways, the car door was open and he showed me a gun. And I said, okay, a car you want? Take your car, take the car, take the car. And he went in there and he drove off. And when he drove off, I said, my handbag is in the car, my phone is in the car, my work bag is in the car, because everything was in the car. My uniform material was in the car trunk that they stole it with, but it's fine. My work bag with my blood pressure monitor, my Sonicade, my thermometer, everything that I needed for work, my equipment for work was in that bag. And my handbag was in the car, but I don't travel with my phone in my bag. It's always either on the dashboard or on the seat next to me. And so the phone, I didn't get back the phone. But when I shouted at him and I was like, okay, you want the car, take the car, but give me everything that I have in the car. I need my bag and I need my work bag. And they saw me in the uniform, so they knew what my profession was. So that was no question. But when I shouted, he threw the bags out, and I'm just grateful to God for that, because they didn't have to do that. Honestly, they didn't have to do that. And I took the bags up, went inside, called my husband. How did I call him? I don't even remember how I called him. Maybe I used my son's phone or something and called him. Yeah, because the phone was in the car with him. And we took my daughter to the doctor and then reported it to the police. But what I would love to say to you is that I was praying to God for a house. I had no means of acquiring that house because I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it. My husband was working. He was self-employed, but he wasn't. Yeah, what we were making, it was just not enough. Anyways, I cried for weeks. I cried and asked the Lord why, because at this point when the car was stolen, it was then that I was getting used to the road. I was feeling more confident driving, and I was a bit disappointed that the car was gone, and it was stolen in that manner. And to be honest, a few days before, few days or weeks before, I went to church, and one of my pastors prayed a prayer and she said, Lord, save her from herself. I didn't understand that prayer, but I do understand where it was coming from now. Yeah, Lord, save her from herself. And I'm just giving God thanks, because had the car not been stolen, I couldn't afford to purchase a house. I couldn't afford to build my house, honestly. I'm just grateful to God. I didn't know that I would be thanking God after I've cried so much. I didn't know that I would be thanking God that the car was actually stolen. But because the car was stolen, they did their investigations and it was comprehensively insured. So I was able to get back enough money from the insurance company to clear off that loan and to acquire an even bigger loan, so that I could be able to contribute to building my house, And I'm just saying this, that sometimes when something bad happens, right, you've been praying to God for whatever it is, whatever you're asking God for, and it may seem like it's not coming through. It's not coming through, or it's instead of something positive happening, something negative is happening. But we don't understand the plan that God has for our lives. And it could be that, it could just be that, just like Joseph, who was sold into Egypt, he must have thought that, oh, this is so sad. This is, my brothers hate me and I'm all alone here in Egypt and I'm facing all of this. And then he was thrown into prison when Potiphar's wife wrongfully accused him. But then look at what happened afterwards. It was the same Joseph who became governor of Egypt. It was the same Joseph who had to help his own brethren who threw him or sold him to strangers. So sometimes when some bad things happen, I'm just here to inspire you that be encouraged. Be encouraged. Just ask God to shine just a glimmer of hope in your life, to just help you to see just a tiny bit around the bend, and just understand that He's always working out for your greater good. You may not know what's in store. You I'm not sure I know how to explain it, but I know I've been praying to the Lord because I was tired of moving. I told you I've relocated over 20 times. I've calculated it. I have moved over 20 times. I've moved in over 11 communities. Yeah. And I was just tired. I needed some stability. And I prayed and I prayed. And even though it seemed negative at the time, it was what God used for me to acquire my house. And honestly, I can say I'm grateful. It got to a point where I didn't pray for anything bad to happen to those men. I just prayed that the Lord would change them and that they would not steal anything else. I mean, thank God they didn't hurt me. He only showed me the gun. That's all He did. And when He showed me the gun, I looked across the road and there was another man standing at the corner, probably shadowing him or something. But I'm just grateful to God that that had happened, because had the car not been stolen, I couldn't say I'm a home owner today. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm truly grateful for that. And I'll continue to aspire to inspire with the testimonies of the Lord, because God has been so good. And I know and I hope this inspires someone. I hope this encourages someone, because God is always working behind the scene. And when you pray, just never forget that we serve a God who answers prayer. Our God answers prayer. We serve an answering prayer God. Yes, we do. He never fails. He never goes back on His word. He never falters. He never sleeps. He never slumbers. And so I'm just encouraging you today to be encouraged. To be encouraged. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're asking God for, expect it, because it's coming. It's coming. It is coming. We serve a God who always answers our prayers. He hears us. He hears us. So just continue to be inspired by Lonely Chronicles. I'll see you next time. Ta-da!